Things are going to start happening to me now.
I think Tyler is amazing.
And I'm a fan of this show. I've watched several episodes.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. You stink, Tyler.
Never promise crazy a baby.
Oh, I like that. That's a cool idea.
Are either of you homosexuals?
I go both ways. What do you think?
You mean like flaming or?
No, we're not homosexual, but we are willing to learn.
But I do wonder, for others, in other cases, whether libertarianism today is just an excuse for many on the right to act selfishly.
Look at me. And then some fat asses in Washington started having opinions. The Olympic Committee started having opinions. You bitch, I know you! You started writing your opinions.
And it just makes me wonder, you're dead, bitch. You know, why are you doing this to this poor guy?
I don't care. I'm a libertarian. What I'm getting is,
Did you vote for Joe Jorgensen or Trump?
Who?
Joe Jorgensen. That was the perfect answer. Thank you.
And hello, everybody. This is Tyler Yonke, LPR. I'm not sure we are streaming correctly. Let's double check here. So, hang on. If you can hear me, then you're in the right spot. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to put the link, I think, to the correct show, and it's all my shit that happened this last week. Okay, so maybe there it is. Let's see if we got this one over here. You're live on a different stream. Weird. Yes. So let me go there. Here you go. Okay. Sorry. Join there. Okay. Let's just go this here. Hang on with me. It's gonna happen. Pop out that chat. There we go. Okay. This is Tyler, LPR. I don't even know what the fuck's going on. I'm gonna have to cancel that other one. This is becoming problematic. Here's the issue, and I will give it to you straight. Okay, decoy stream for the losers. I'm here. Let's do here. There we go. So this is the other chat, and then we have this one. I'm here. Okay, decoy stream. I don't know which is taken. I was trying to do multi-streams this last week, and the whole thing just blew out. Okay, so giving you some behind-the-scenes stuff here. So I came up with a resolution, and I'm just streaming to one place that then spits it out. But you still want to plan the show. So you have to still, I want to, show that it's where everyone to go so you get notifications. So I set that, and I thought it was going to go out. It evidently started a new stream. So we are, yeah, it looks like the chats are combined. That's my own system, by the way. It's not a combining chat here. It's me being able to use a different system. It's called Social Stream Ninja. And you just have a chat pop out, and I have an ability to bring them all in. So I'm going to, you know what, we're here. So we're kind of making this deal. I'm going to do one other thing here while I'm thinking about it, which is pop out the chat for Twitter. Where's Twitter? There we go. Too much going on. But I'm glad you're here. And so, live. Hang on. I don't want it to make noise here. So, okay, there it is. So glad you guys are here. We will make this, try to make this as best we can. And I've got a few things on tap tonight. One of those, we did a stream earlier this week, and I hope you guys don't forget to put on obviously the notifications in case you're gonna miss them. Where is this thing going here? Why is this not get? Oh, there it is. We will pop that one out as well. Okay. All right, now I can leave it. Forget it. So, by the way, Nick Fuentes, we talked about him. And I came up with a conclusion here. We're going to talk about the new situation that happened. And yeah, was Nick right? Was Nick right to be concerned and fearful of his life? Yes, he was. Yeah, it looked like chats are combined. The word problematic is problematic. I don't know what's going on. So Nick was concerned about things, rightly so. Okay. Once again, I'm gonna do one other thing here because I don't want to have too many pop-outs. He was rightly concerned about his life, and then in case you don't know, someone tried to actually come and kill him, and you're like, oh really? As someone put in here, I would have thought he Jussie Smollett himself if not for the fact that he did the guy, that if he did, the guy he hired really committed to the bit. Yeah, so we'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about defamation cases and smelly snatches. You're like, say what? Yeah, well, just hang in here. We'll get to it. Someone had a defamation suit over the vagina being smelly. Hang on. It's a cracking in one open here. This is interesting. So it's got a chicken on it. I think that's why my wife buys it. Not bad. So a defamation case. And I thought we would maybe cap off some things about Trump and some of his legal aspects, because he's been going through some legal cases and kind of getting some wins. So let me just show you this here. This is our, there you go, Lawfare Trump, him fighting step on all of us. And so we'll talk about that as well. Maybe we'll just get right into the Nick Fuentes. Okay, I think that's how we're going to do this. So I'll talk about that one first, because I think it is somewhat, I don't know about, it is interesting. And not only is it interesting, but it's, let me see, that's not the one I want to do. Let's do browser. There we go. I think we'll try that one. I need a producer is what I need. Someone here to take care of shit. And that's the old chat. So I don't know that that's the one we want to actually show here. So we'll just show that there. Okay, far-right influencer Nick Fuentes, armed would-be assassin wanted for murder, came to his home to kill him. Okay, that already sounds problematic. There's the word problematic. The word problematic is probably, I don't know, but why I'm using that word tonight. Would-be assassin wanted for murder, came to his home to kill him. So we'll watch the video, but we'll read this too. Far right-wing influencer. No, this is not showing up here, the whole thing. I think that's good enough. Nick Fuentes. See, this is at least says far-right influencer rather than white supremacist like those Karens are saying. Said an armed would-be assassin wanted in a triple murder came to his home in Illinois to kill him Wednesday night before cops fatally shot the unhinged man. Yeah, right. Man in Nick? In the neighbor's yard, according to an account largely confirmed by police. Fuentes, 26, known for okay, here you go. Here's the not biased. Known for promoting racist, sexist, and anti-Semitic views online. And I like they have a hyperlink to it. We should see what that hyperlink goes to. So you're not gonna, maybe we will here. Okay. Trump fumes that Kanye tried to kill him over with Nick Fuentes' dinner report. Fuck him over. Okay, so that's the proof that he's anti-Semitic? Okay. Showed a video of a gun and crossbow toting attacker on his doorstep in Berwyn, blaming it on the address being leaked online. Quote, last night, an armed killer made an attempt on my life at my home, which was recently doxxed on this platform, Fuentes wrote on X, saying his doorbell footage caught him yelling, "Yo, Nick." Okay. The gunman carried a pistol, crossbow, and incendiary devices. Easy for me to say. I believe he intended to kill me. He is now dead. I am okay. And that's a little bit harrowing. So we gotta, this is a little bit different than just some bitches coming to your door. But remember, maybe I need to find that. Let's do this. Let me pop this over here. And so while I'm doing this, I'm going to wait. Sorry about all this. I'm going to look for the video of the lady and see if I could find out where she says, it might be too difficult. This is where I should have done show prep. Lady, where she said, the police, we played the body cam footage the other day. Okay. And they're talking to the lady that comes there. Okay. And that she then had been assaulted and battery. Assault and battery. We've talked about the legal differences in those. Assault is the apprehension of unwanted contact, and a battery is the actual contact. So you can have a battery without assault, okay? But usually assault and battery can go together. So someone's throwing something at you, you see it coming, you're like this, oh no, and then it hits you. Well, you've got assault or they're gonna punch you, same thing. Or what if your head is turned and they throw something at the back of your head and it just hits you? Well, it's a battery. You didn't have assault. Then there's aggravated, and those are usually with a deadly weapon or battery. Anyway, he pepper sprays this chick, pushes her down, grabs her phone. You know, there's all kinds, and he's been arrested for it. And so the body cam came out, and the lady's talking to him, and he's like, "Why would you come to this guy's house?" And she goes, basically, "Why would he open up his door? Who knows what kind of dangerous, crazy person is?" You know, that I'm paraphrasing, comes to your door. And I was like, "Yeah, you're describing yourself. Thank you." But did Nick learn anything from that? Because I've been saying all along, don't open your door. These people are doxing you. What, are you going to have a conversation with him? No, you're going to pepper spray him. Well, then you're in the situation you are. But you don't know who that other person is. It could just be a nice little old lady like on the movie Friday coming to hand you stuff. And, well, fuck you. Or it could be a nasty Karen trying to set you up. Or it could be someone trying to kill you. So in that case, you know, Nick shorted this guy on a Catboy payment. Right. Welcome in, everybody. Sorry, we're in the wrong show. Yeah. You know what I should do? I should take the... let me do this. You guys, we're just going to do some housekeeping here. You're going to hang out with me. So while I have... Let me see the show here. Which one is live? This one is live, I think. So while this is going here, I'm going to take this link, and I should put it in the link of the one that's dead. That one's, wait, oh, this one's going. That one's going. Okay, we'll do this one. And then we'll put it in the link to the show that's dead, that's not happening. Okay, so that everyone knows, hey, come over here. So let me see, I'll just do that. Ugh, this is so disturbing. So disturbing. I'm still learning, people. I'm not a newbie, but yet I'm a newbie with what I'm using here tonight. I already put it over there. Okay, I already put it over there. Never mind. Yeah, that's right. That's how you guys all came in this direction. Okay, so let's go back to the reading here. The killer, the would-be assassin, committed triple homicide in Southern Illinois earlier yesterday before he arrived at my doorstep with his pistol drawn, calling my name. He added, he being Nick Fuentes. The killer drove 2.5 hours directly to my house, he said later. Fuentes' description of the disturbing incident aligns with a statement released by Berwyn police officers who said they responded to a gunman on the block where Fuentes lives at 11:40 p.m. Wednesday, according to the Chicago Sun-Times. Police did not, however, say if they thought he intended to harm Fuentes. The crazed suspect, John Lyons, 24, of Westchester, Illinois, bolted from Fuentes' block to a nearby home, then explicitly killed 2 dogs before running into a neighbor's yard, police said. Oh, he's a piece of shit. Lyons, who was wanted in the Southern Illinois town of Mahomet for a triple murder, disobeyed commands from officers and began shooting at police, according to cops. So people had surmised, officers returned fire and killed him in a dramatic shootout, police said. So here's the guy that showed up there in a motorcycle helmet, carried a gun and a crossbow. People were saying online, this is a fake gun and a crossbow. Who does that? But evidently he had means in a way to kill 3 people earlier, and he killed 2 dogs. So I think you go with the fact that, and by the way, here we go. Helbelson, the threats were ongoing at the time of the incident. I think this can for sure help prove he was correct to be in fear for his life. Well, it's now after the fact. It wasn't like he wasn't afraid for his life and receiving 0 threats. Then he pepper sprays a lady, and then he starts to receive threats after. Once again, he did not open the door for this guy, right? Call the cops, call 911. And by the way, exaggerate. He said earlier he called and reported a car out front that was whatever, and now it's like some lady's coming to your door. I would suggest call 911. I've got a crazy person trying to get in my house. And you're like, well, what proof? Well, let's say she grabs the door handle. There you go. Ringing the doorbell. And I'm just saying, all I'm saying is he did the right thing this time. He didn't answer the door. Now, he's going to claim that he was, streaming at the time. But there was danger. Okay. Fuentes posted surveillance camera footage, and we'll watch it, showing a person wearing a motorcycle helmet and carrying what appeared to be a gun and a crossbow on his porch. I was live streaming at the time. He rings the doorbell, tries the doorknob, and yells, "Yo, Nick!" Fuentes wrote on X. The incident came one day before Fuentes a Holocaust denier. Is he? Let's look at this. Let's go here and see if he really is a Holocaust denier. I mean, maybe he is. Once again, it's the same thing here. Let's do a search. Let me see if we can do this. It's not letting me do Control F for some reason. Okay. Donald Trump, Kanye West, notorious Holocaust skeptic and white nationalist. Okay, well that's Fuentes. Totally blindsided, freaking crazy. A disaster. I mean, maybe Nick is a Holocaust denier. I don't know if he is, but you're linking to an article that claims that he's a Holocaust denier. Let's see where the proof is in here. Just that Kanye is. Is Kanye? I don't know. I mean, he said he liked the Nazis. Maybe he's not a Holocaust and doesn't like the Jews. So maybe he's not denying the Holocaust. Maybe he's loving it. No idea what his views were. Trump took to social media. This is Trump complaining about that. I don't see that's a lame link. You said he's a Holocaust denier and a white supremacist, and you link to an article that makes a claim that Kanye is, and that he went with Kanye, and then that doesn't claim that. I don't know. Maybe he is. I'm just like, this is the shitty kind of reporting that we've got here. Okay, and feels dirty like defending him. I mean, that's where we are at the time. Let's be honest about stuff. A Holocaust denier and accused white supremacist. Well, okay. Some of these the descriptions are just an accused white supremacist. Well, I'm accusing this person of hating Jews as well. The guy that I just accused him. Now you're gonna have to write that whoever this author is, that he or she is an accused child rapist. Maybe I said grape. Was set to appear in court for a criminal case in which he allegedly attacked another person who showed up at his door. Fuentes faces a charge for allegedly pepper spraying a 57-year-old Marla Rose when she confronted him on November 7th about a controversial social media post he made. I don't know if it was controversial. He said it was a joke. The police said it was a bad joke. She said he coined the phrase "your body, my choice." In the more recent incident with the triple killer, Fuentes' next door neighbors said they were awoken by the sound of yelling outside their home late Wednesday, the paper reported. I was like hearing a movie, said Bianca, 33, who declined to give her last name and or social media. We want to see pictures. All I heard was police calling John and yelling, "Put your effing hands up, put them up." Bianca said she didn't think it was a coincidence that the gunman showed up on Fuentes' block. Fuentes' address got doxxed, and then this guy ends up here, she said. I don't think it was a coincidence that someone who killed 3 people down south ended up here. The guy is from miles away. Why is he here? Yeah, exactly. I wonder how his neighbors feel about him, Fuentes. I mean, they probably don't see him because he stays inside all day streaming. Another neighbor, I mean, he's really white, and I think that's just from lack of vitamin D. The sunshine. Another neighbor, Matt, who lives with Bianca, I hope they didn't get called out for their sinful relationship, said or maybe they're just roommates, said he spoke to Fuentes the morning after the shootout. Fuentes was telling me the shooter was trying to kill him, he said. All right, well, there we go. Let's, is there a video with that? There's not one there. There we go. Let's play this video. Is there any volume to this thing? I think it's just the video. Let's make sure. Okay. I don't think there's any sound to it. There's a guy coming up. So he has a few cameras. Smart move by Nick to put some cameras up. This guy pulls out a gun, puts out a crossbow. Very, careful. I mean, what are you gonna do with the crossbow? But I would guess a lot of packages out there. Nick's getting stuff. He's getting packages, maybe Christmas gifts. This dude is fucking here, he said something here, so let's see if we go back.
Yo, Nick.
There you go. Yo, Nick. Oh shit. Now this is the is this the alleyway that we saw between the houses? Is this a neighbor's house? Or is he trying to get in Nick's house? Because this is okay, that appears to be the backyard that Nick wanted to talk to the police with. What's he? Next up, pandas in South Korea. Okay. That's oh, there you go. That's the pandas we were talking about. That's a bit creepy. It's a bit creepy. Okay. Do you think this shooting will retroactively help Nick with his prior pepper spray case? Or can the law not work backwards in a timeline like that? The ban Photoshop, that's a great question. I would be using it myself, as Hubbleson had mentioned. And we watched the body cam. I think you were in there watching that with us. Nick made the claim at the time that, sorry, I just saw Andy's message there. He made the claim at the time that the police came that he feared for his life. Okay. He said that about the Karens. Now, that seems like, one, that's a great statement to use at the time because you need to be, is his aggression, it's usually like for like, okay? You don't just pepper spray someone who's knocking on your door, okay? Maybe someone's pepper spraying you, you pepper spray them back. Someone's using a gun, you use it back. But if you think you're actually fearing for your life, that would have to be a standard that people would have to, bring to court, and you would have to argue it. Now, I would say, look, he was justified in fearing for his life because this is the kind of stuff that can happen, okay? As Hubbleson also mentioned here, this is Nick, the conspiracy would be this is Nick hiring someone to come and do this so then he has an excuse later. And this person really went for it. They like killed their family and then, did this and then ended up getting killed in a shootout. But the law can work backwards only in a way that you are basically, you're justifying that you did have these reasons, that this was happening. Now, the argument would actually, and would they let this in, right? Would this incident be allowed to come in? State of mind, that's definitely part of this. And that's it's an exception to hearsay, but is this a hearsay issue? No, this is just an incident. And I think they would be trying to bring this in. The prosecution would obviously try to keep this situation out, saying it has nothing to do with it. But I don't know. I mean, it shows that he was justified in having a fear, that there are crazy people out there coming to get him, right? So, it's maybe a toss-up in this case, but it's not going to justify what he did. It's just going to justify his state of mind. Now, even then, his state of mind at the time, if he feared for his life, why is he opening the door? He didn't open the door for this guy, so you still have a problem there. We can see that, right? And he followed up the cops' advice after they finally showed up. True. Kanye again. What are these sources? You can't find a tweet? I'm sure Nick just put some journalism. Would be nice. Garbage Man said, I just crapped my pants. Well, welcome to fatherhood again. Nick is the leader of the white race, man. Yeah. Hubbleson, tie your shoe. You're talking to that guy. Yeah, he had his shoe untied, which was a little odd. I hope everybody's finding this fucking stream tonight. I'm so sorry. I think we will get it. What I think I'm going to have to do is, because I'm using a restream to do this in the channel, and I think it just creates its own stream. So I can't advertise it out there. I'll do it on a post. I'll maybe do it a post instead of doing, and then just expect the show to go live on a Friday night. I can't pre-arrange it until I do some more testing to make sure I can multi-stream without crapping everything out, which happened earlier this week. So that's your Nick update news. Is there any more Nick update news? Let's see here. I thought I had another. This is the same video. I think it's the same one. Okay, so it's just Nick's ring video. We don't really have anything more after that. This one's blurred out. So there you go. I do want to look. No, let's go here because this is a tweet about it, and maybe it's a little bit more information we can possibly come to. There you go, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Okay, let's go to the browser. I think we'll try this one here. That didn't really that didn't really do it. How about the cam one with the Twitter? There, I think we're gonna have to do this one. There we go. Okay, so here's Colin Rugg tweeted, the man accused of attempted murder streamer Nick Fuentes is 24-year-old John Lyons. Very dangerous times, especially when we have degenerates praising Luigi Mangione for executing a man in the back. Yeah. Lyons reportedly traveled 140 miles to Fuentes' home after allegedly murdering 3 family members. Fuentes has released footage. Fuentes reportedly live streaming. Officers who were called to the scene spotted Lyons, who ran away and forced his way inside someone's home. That's killed 2 dogs. That's horrible. I mean, life means more than dogs, but those people didn't do anything. This dude just broke in their home and killed their dogs. I would hope my dogs would attack him. Now, one of them is going to have a tough time because she has 3 legs. We had to cut one off just for cosmetic reasons. And she looks less intimidating, and she's not intimidating. Sorry, this guy's still going on out there, this video. One dog would attack him. One would really make a lot of noise. 26-year-old Sarah Mason, 61-year-old Jason L. Mason, and 23-year-old Caleb Mason were killed earlier that day. Lyons eventually left on. Okay, his name is Lyons. So I wonder what the relationship is between this guy and those 3 people that he killed. That's yeah, and then people are having trouble with Morgan Ariel. You know, the Groypers. They're a wonderful lot. So there you go. I don't know if there's any kind. Doxing is stupid. Not a fan of that as well, and not a fan of. I mean, there's this address. Someone doxed it out there. Not a fan of that. Not a fan of Nick Fuentes. He's a Mexican, evidently. Just not a fan of Mexicans. I think that's where we're at now. Nick Fuentes, there you go. That's the update on Nick Fuentes stuff. Okay, let's go to the stinky vagina. I think that's the case I'm really most interested at this point. No, we're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it this way. $25,000 damages for statements alleging woman's fiance said her vagina stinks. Okay. Let me do something here. I want to bring this other chat over here so I can actually see it. Sorry, folks. This is just one of these days. I mean, just one of these days. Let's pop this out. All right. I think I'll do this. Now it might show your chats up twice because I have 2 chats up, but that's okay. Then I can see them better. Okay, let's go with Cam 1 here. $25,000 damages for statements alleging woman's fiance said her vagina stinks. So we're going to get into a few defamation cases. Jury, get a sniff. That's, wait a second here. I have to find one more thing. Triple lawfare. No, that's not it. That's not it. GD. This is becoming one of these streamers. Okay. From Imham v. Magambo, decided Friday by Appellate Court of Maryland, opinion by Judge Dan Friedman, joined by judges Stephen Cahill and Frederick Scher. So it was an appeal, and they went up. I think they went en banc on this one. May 21, an anonymous user. This gives some highlights here. Anonymous user on Instagram sent a direct message to Akilu suggesting that her fiance, Magambo. Now, these are all, I don't know what, Magambo? No, I don't know. These are all seemingly names of maybe an African or some sort of foreign descent. These probably aren't your just all your, Steves and Joes. It's not your Nick Fuenteses, even though he's got a Mexican name. It's a different foreign sounding names here. Okay. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but stinky vagina, I don't know. Magambo had commented on her body odor, so someone sent this person a message saying, "Hey, bitch, your man commented on your body odor." Several days later, Chukwara, a friend of both Achilu and Irham, told Achilahu that Irham had made 2 remarks about Achilahu's body odor. That one, Achilahu's vagina stinks. Oh, or vagina stink? I don't know what. I need to know the ethnicity so I could do the proper accent. And that 2, Magambo told me that Akilahu's vagina stinks. Akilahu shared these statements with Magambo. Now, he's of course going to deny that, right? No, it smells. Now, imagine the discovery process for this trial. Okay? Truth is a defense. So these people are like, we got to get a sniff. I think we need to have, and is it like, how do you do that? Do you bottle it up and send it to them? Do they all get to take a whiff of this and then determine it? It's a scratch and sniff type of thing. I don't know. This is a really tough one. Chikwara sent another message to Chilahu in June. This time, Chikwara said she was told by Eham that Eham had screenshots confirming that Magambo made the second statement about Chilahu's body odor. It's not her body odor. Chilahu and Magambo discovered one final anonymous online post about a year later. The user, this time posting on the gossip website Lipstick Alley, also alleged that Magambo had criticized Chilahu's body odor. Why do these people care so much? If he's going to get married to her and he's okay with it, I mean, I don't know that he's okay with it if he's posting it online everywhere, right? EM alleges there's insufficient evidence to show the two statements expose Magambo and Chilahu to any reputational damage. So one thing you've got to show with defamation is damages, okay? By the way, Andy, why don't you go fuck yourself here? Andy, Tyler discusses rosacea. I don't have rosacea. I don't. Pretty sure of it. There's insufficient evidence to show the two statements expose them to reputational damage. To satisfy the first element of defamation, however, Magambo and Chilahu are not required to show actual reputational damage. A defamatory statement need only be the type that tends to expose a person to scorn, hatred, and the like. The test is simply whether the words taken in their common and ordinary meaning are capable of defamatory construction. That test is satisfied here. The statement, Chilahu's vagina stinks, tends to expose Chilahu, it exposes her, that's for sure, to contempt or ridicule regarding both her health and her hygiene. I mean, no one knew about this until they filed this lawsuit. Now, everyone can go read about her stinky vagina, allegedly. I mean, that's what it's being reported by these guys, not me. Coupled with the extrinsic fact that the two are engaged, tends to expose Magambo to contempt or ridicule by communicating a breakdown in the relationship between the couple or a lack of discretion on the part of Magambo. Each statement discourages others from having good opinion of both parties and satisfies the first element of defamation. The court also upheld the actual damage award. The court look, her vagina is only worth $25,000. The court awarded actual damages based on anxiety and other mental emotional harms. These do have to be provable, by the way. There is evidence that these defamatory statements frayed the relationship between Magambo to such a point that they paused their wedding planning. I would now let's be honest here. Did the stinky vagina pause the wedding plans? Or did this incident? I mean, he's gonna say, baby, I did not say that. But she's like, why do you always wear a mask? We're not even COVID worried. He's like, I don't make me say that. A testimony revealed that Chilahu experienced severe stress from the statements. Yes, but imagine his stress from the smell, which was compounded by her studying for the bar exam at the same time. Now that bitch. For his part, Magambo stated he suffered from depression and panic attacks. Each also attended therapy, at least in part because of the defamatory statements. The fact that she's studying for the bar exam just makes me feel like these are litigious people. Most people would just go on your way and go, okay, so whatever. But she's the stinky vagina attorney now. I wonder if she passed the bar. She didn't pass the sniff test. For his part, Magambo stated he suffered depression, panic based on the evidence. The circuit court did not clearly err in awarding Chilahu and Magambo actual damages based on, quote, humiliation, embarrassment, and stress, unquote. The court upheld punitive damages award. So I guess they're saying her vagina doesn't stink. I mean, punitive is to punish. obviously they won the defamation. To be awarded punitive damages, a plaintiff must prove actual malice by clear and convincing evidence. It's not it's an easy, it's an easy standard. It's over 50%, like a 75. And malice is, quote, a person's actual knowledge that his or her statement is false, coupled with his or her intent to deceive another by means of that statement. Maryland's highest court has held that actual knowledge of falsity and not mere reckless disregard of truth is required to prove actual malice in the context of recovering punitive damages in defamation actions. Actual malice can be inferred from circumstantial evidence. Eham knew by clear and convincing evidence that the defamatory statements were false and attempted to deceive others about its falsity. First, the circuit court, I don't know that he knew that they were, well, let me say this. If he made up those statements, then he didn't know that the vagina was actually stinky, but he knew that the statements weren't from Magambo, okay? But first, the circuit court found they fabricated the screenshots. Oh, okay. Fabricated the screenshots that allegedly captured Magambo messaging him about Chahu's body odor. This screenshot was never introduced, and every witness, including him, denied ever seeing the screenshot. Second, testimony supported, and the circuit court found that Eham attempted to influence the deposition of Chukwuora by texting her. So, by text, okay. I don't know who these people is. Him a male as the deposition was happening to answer questions vaguely and to deny that Eham communicated the defamatory statements to her. These findings are sufficient to infer that Eham knew and attempted to deceive others about the falsity of the defamatory statements because they display Eham's attempts to conceal her involvement in, I'm just still laughing about this stinky vagina, and insulate her from the defamatory statements. As a result, the circuit court did not err in awarding punitive damages to Magambo and Achilahu. Imagine, I wonder if she can do anything with the money to fix her stinky vagina. Because, now that she did this lawsuit, that's all you're going to know her as. Eham also argues that the statement, Chilahu's vagina stinks, is merely an opinion that and thus cannot be proved true or false for the purpose of establishing the second element of defamation. Yeah, I mean, stink is personal issue, right? I mean, it's like it's what maybe Magambo thinks it smells great, or maybe not. Now, once again, I got to always back up here because the reality is we're doing it technically, which is. Chukwuara is claiming, or Ihar is claiming that that the Magambo said Achilahu's vagina stank, and that statement was probably incorrect, but I bet it did. Is merely an opinion. Okay, a statement is false if it is not substantially correct. Whether an opinion is defamatory depends on whether the factual basis for the opinion is either disclosed or undisclosed and either true or false. Regardless, we need not determine if this is an opinion because the argument was neither raised at trial nor decided by the circuit court. That's part of the opinion there. Yeah, and by the way, this is what's fascinating. I actually have the actual case. If you want to, I don't think I want to go through it because I want to kind of get to some other stuff, but that is hilarious. Eham didn't substantively challenge liability for intrusion upon seclusion claim, though she did raise an evidentiary objection that I didn't expect. Eric Kirk Law Firm, and Stephen Klepper represents plaintiffs. Okay, there you go. I mean, that's... They won't stop with it. I told you it's bad, and nobody is talking about it. Even Sean won't talk about it because nobody seems to care. Okay, what are you talking about here? No one seems to care about what? Okay, Hubbleson, say what you will about Nick. He sure has earned his paycheck this year, sewing left-right division. Yeah. Jordan says, Requeta and Fuentes segments shall be referred to as Nick updates from here on. Okay. Jury got a sniff? How else could they judge? I don't know. If she douches, does that count as evidence tampering? Hubbleson. The lawsuit didn't pass the sniffs test. Okay, bad, Tyler, bad. Okay. He does have it. he has doubts that he doesn't. Oh, rosacea, and he should get checked out. Okay, garbage main. But does the carpet match the drapes? Sup chat. I shaved my drapes. Hi Tyler, Maddie, you watching the game? He needs gummy bears. Yes, Scott with some Tower Gang lore. Notre Dame. Yep, about 10 minutes. You guys, why you Stinky Law? Notre Dame up there. Okay, shout out Cole. They tried to sneak that drone bill into the omnibusy on both tries. Interesting. These statements were never loose. They won't stop that shit. Maddie B, I told you it's bad and nobody is talking about it. Now, Matt, what are you talking about? I'm not sure. Maybe I could get LPR to talk about it. What are you talking about? The counter U.S. drone bill that was widespread warrantless surveillance law? Okay, is that what you're talking about? I mean, I will talk about it. I don't know that that's necessarily interesting, but maybe I should. Maybe send me the details. Nico, who has ever heard of stinky drapes? Right. You guys, some of the good comments. I want to now segue into Trump. He did, and this is there's a bunch of lawsuits and stuff that he's had. He's suing the Iowa pollster, that chick, when she was, 19 some points off. I don't know that that's the best thing to do, but he seems to just come out swinging on all sides. So I did want to take a look, though, at his actual lawsuit against... what's his name? Stephanopoulos. I'll do that, but I also wanted to see if I had a real tough time actually finding the quote here, because a lot of the news places, they just reference it, and then no one was having the video. I want to see if I could actually find. I thought I saved it, and maybe I don't. Fannie Willis, that situation, I think she got kicked off the case. Let's take a look here. Let's see if this is. Maybe I need to bring this. Okay, let's play this and see if this is part of it.
Ambassador Nikki Haley is facing questions over what role she will play in the 2024 election cycle after she notably did not endorse former President.
What is that there in front of this news story? This is so fucking stupid. I had this all saved up here, and I don't know what happened with the links. Anyway, there's a settlement. I wanted to get to it. I guess, maybe we'll just go back to it and we'll just read about it. It's maybe the best way to go. March 10 interview on This Week made headlines after Mace, a rape survivor. And she's going at it with Jack Posobiec. And I'm just like, I kind of looked into what they were talking about. And then I just said, I don't, I'm not a fan of him. I'm not a fan of her. And then this is the dumbest thing. His wife, because Mace comes out and she's like, no, Jack, I never would, or something like, because she's doing this thing where like, oh, any criticism of her is actually someone hitting on her. And I'm just like, okay, that's a boring take. However, then his wife has to come out and say, why, this is what she said, I'm summarizing. Why would he want a Honda Civic when he's got a Lamborghini at home? And I'm just like, I mean, I don't know, that kind of stuff. And people are like, oh my word, she just burned. And I'm like, did she? I don't know. It's like the stinky vagina. I don't know that he has a Lamborghini at home. I mean, he's a Fed. So, whatever. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with you, Posobiec. I'm not impressed with Mace. Well, not the pepper spray Mace. I don't know. That one's fine. I think I found the chat I wanted to do. Did I? Maybe it's the wrong one still. All right, let's try this. Okay. Made headwinds last week when Mace accused Stephanopoulos of trying to shame her by probing why she endorsed former president, despite jury's recent verdicts against him in an advice column, E. Jean Carroll's sexual battery and defamation lawsuits. Yeah, I think she was filing against him for defamation. Trump's lawsuit takes aim at how Stephanopoulos at multiple points in his questioning said Trump had been found, quote, liable for rape. Okay, well, liable is a civil term. Okay, but it definitely wasn't rape. I mean, I don't think rape is a tort. It would be battery or assault. We've talked about that. But I don't think rape, I think rape is an actual criminal intent crime. So you're mixing the two there. The jury had found Trump liable for sexual abuse under New York law, but not rape. Judges and 2 separate juries have found him liable for rape and for defaming the victim of that rape. How do you square your endorsement of Donald Trump with the testimony we just saw? I mean, didn't Stephanopoulos, didn't he work for Clinton? I mean, yeah, complain about rape all you want. He asked during the interview, these statements were and remain false and were made by defendant Stephanopoulos, who, with actual malice and with reckless disregard for the truth, given that defendant Stephanopoulos knows that these statements are patently and demonstrably false. Trump's attorney Alejandro Brito wrote in a 20-page complaint. Indeed, the jury expressly found that plaintiff did not commit rape and demonstrated below. George Stephanopoulos was aware of the jury's findings in this regard, but still falsely stated otherwise, Brito continued. Trump asked for unspecified damages. Okay, so we're going to actually look at the complaint, and I'm going to look at it I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there are some interesting things here. So this week, Stephanopoulos falsely stated on several occasions that plaintiff had been found liable for multiple juries for the rape of E. Jean Carroll. These statements were false. Okay. Part 2, I'm just skipping through this. Defendant Stephanopoulos made these defamatory statements which are communicated and published to third parties. Yeah, he said them online. I mean, on the interview. The parties, we have this. So it talks about that. It talks about jurisdiction, and it was a federal. By the way, so they're asking for over $75,000, and they're doing it in federal court, which they did even at the 5th Southern District of Florida. So they did it down there, and they did settle. But we're going to look through 2 different E. Jean Carroll litigation matters. On or before November 4th, my daughter's birthday, 2019, writer E. Jean Carroll filed a single count complaint for defamation against plaintiff in the Supreme Court of New York. So it was defamation. On September 8, 2020, the New York State Court complaint was removed to the U.S. District Court in the Southern District of New York, and such removed action was styled as Carroll v. Trump. Okay. The cause of action brought by Carroll in lawsuit 1 stemmed from an alleged incident. Okay. Plaintiff consistently, steadfastly denied these claims. She alleged that while she was okay, so I want to go on here. I was seeing if she brought up any other things besides just defamation. In response, plaintiff denied such an incident occurred. Yeah, she had all kinds of truth trouble, but that it's what it is. You know, that went to New York. There you go. Second lawsuit stemmed from the same incident that allegedly took place. But Carroll brought an additional claim for battery against plaintiff. In her battery claim, she alleged that plaintiff's actions constitute sexual offense. Let's see, what did I say? Didn't I say it was going to be battery? Defined, including but not limited to rape in the first degree, sexual abuse in the first degree, and sexual abuse in the third degree, and sexual misconduct and forcible touching. Additionally, claims made in the plaintiff statements that formed the basis of sole defamation claim. The court held a jury trial, okay, issued the verdict on May 9, 2023. As to the first count of battery, the jury was expressly asked to render a determination as to whether plaintiff raped Carroll. The verdict form is clear. The jury determined that Carroll failed to prove her allegation of rape and found plaintiff not liable as to that allegation. Here's a copy of that. Did Miss Carroll prove by preponderance of the evidence? Wow, just that's all it is. That Mr. Trump raped? No. Just check a box, like yes or no. The jury made a finding of sexual assault and as a result found for Carroll on the battery claim and the defamation claim. Carroll 2 verdict is currently the subject of an appeal brought by plaintiff. Shortly after the Carroll 2 jury verdict, Carroll sought to amend her complaint in the Carroll 1 due to the issuance of the verdict and related filings. Notably, in the amended complaint, Carroll replaced every mention of rape in the initial complaint with sexual assault, given that the Carroll 2 jury did not make the finding of rape in the verdict. A jury, yeah, these are. I think you're kind of damning from what he said, right? The jury trial took place in January 18, 2024. Okay. The jury issued a verdict on the single count complaint for defamation in favor of Carroll. The verdict in Carroll 1 is currently subject to an appeal. Okay, the Carroll 1 jury undeniably did not find plaintiff liable for rape. Neither did Carroll 1 jury nor the Carroll 2 jury find plaintiff liable for rape. George Stephanopoulos interview. Okay, this week with George Stephanopoulos. Stephanopoulos opened the segment by playing a video of a speech given by Representative Mace in South Carolina, in which she revealed she was a victim of grapes. Immediately after playing the speech, Stephanopoulos questioned how Rep. Mace would endorse plaintiff, given that, as Stephanopoulos claimed, plaintiff had been liable for rape. Okay. And here's, you endorsed Donald Trump for president. Judges, 2 separate juries have found him you endorsed Donald Trump for president, period. Judges and 2 separate juries have found him liable for rape and for defaming the victim of that rape. That's what he said. Donald Trump has been found liable for rape by a jury. Donald Trump has been found liable for defaming the victim of that rape by a jury. It has been affirmed by a judge. Item 3, I'm asking you a question about why you endorse someone who has been found liable for rape. Part 4, it was a civil court that found him liable for rape. 5, is this 5? I'm losing count here. They're just doing bullets. Next bullet point. I'm questioning your political choices because you're supporting someone who has been found liable for rape. Why are you supporting someone who's been found liable for rape? They are afraid to come forward, as you said, because they are defamed by those who commit the rape. That's what Donald Trump has been found guilty of doing. Notice, there's people that have accused President Clinton of the same, and don't think there's any lawsuits out there. Interesting. You don't find it offensive that Donald Trump has been found liable for rape, this guy. Well, actually, what you're doing is defending a man who has been found liable for rape. Next bullet point. In fact, it has been shown to be rape. The judge affirmed that it was, in fact, rape. Donald Trump was found to have committed rape. That's just a fact. Next bullet point. You're comfortable with Donald Trump being found liable for rape. Next bullet point. Even though he's been found liable for rape. Given that the actual language of the juries in the verdict rendered Carroll 1 and 2, Stephanopoulos' numerous statements that plaintiff had been, quote, found liable for rape were false and defamatory statements. I think so. Now, as a libertarian, do we want this? Is this defamation? What I think you should do, look at all the shit that Cuomo's done. What you don't do is hire Cuomo as part of your news team. You shun him. And yeah, cancel culture is a nasty thing, but I think that goes more in line with shaming, for right shaming, correctly, not for making shit up, than the whole defamation idea. He was clearly aware of the jury's verdicts and clearly aware that both Carroll 1 and 2 juries had not found plaintiff liable for rape. Just 5 weeks ago, February 4, airing of this show, Stephanopoulos stated that, quote, most recently, this E. Jean Carroll case where juries have found him liable for sexual assault and defamation. And, quote, these were juries that found him liable for sexual assault and defamation. Moreover, a segment on Good Morning America that aired on May 10, 2023, Stephanopoulos interviewed Carroll after the verdict was rendered in Carroll 2. During the Good Morning interview, the banner broadcasted during the interview read, former president found liable for sexual abuse and defamation. Quote, and ABC thereafter posted a clip of the interview on its website, which stated longtime advice columnist E. Jean Carroll, who would are her, said she feels fantastic one day after the jury found former President Donald Trump liable for battery and defamation in a lawsuit. Of particular note, Stephanopoulos specifically asked Carroll, how about yesterday afternoon in the courtroom? The first announcement was made, and it was that he was, quote, not found liable for rape. What were you thinking at that moment? Emphasis added. See, but here's the deal. Yes, so maybe he knew that it was defamation at the time. I think it doesn't matter because the money that you're ended up going to have to pay for this, if and when it even happens, is not as big a deal as not making sure Trump is not elected. And that was the primary goal. So you're a good soldier. You go out there, you do your duty, you wage the warfare as you need, and you hope that you're covered by it. I mean, he'd probably, I don't know what his salary is. Maybe we should look and see. Let's take a look here. Let's see if I could find it. George Stephanopoulos salary. Let's see if we get any answers to this. Let's use AI, see if it has some AI answers. According to multiple sources, George Stephanopoulos' annual salary is around $14 million. In 2018, he signed a new 4-year deal with ABC worth more than $65 million, working out to roughly $15 to $18 million per year. As of 2024, his salary is reportedly $14 million, with an additional $1 million in bonuses. It's worth noting that these figures have changed since the search result. Okay, that's anyway. So $14 million a year. I think the settlement was 15. I think he paid 1 million or 16. He paid $1 million and ABC paid 15, something like that. And yeah, okay. So this is pretty damning. Now let's get to the actual the aftermath of the Stephanopoulos. Since making such false, malicious, and defamatory statements, many news and press outlets have continued to quote Stephanopoulos by wrongly broadcasting that plaintiff was found liable for rape. For example, as depicted in the screenshot below, following the interview, journalist Aaron Rupar, this guy's a piece of shit, who is known for his presence on social media platform X, formerly Twitter, and who maintains a website called Public Notice, wherein he covers politics, the media, publicly defended Stephanopoulos' position and praised him for holding his ground during the interview. Yeah, there we go. Wow. This is Aaron. Nancy Mace gets mad when George asks her how she can support Trump despite claiming to care about rape victims. Quote, "You are trying to shame me this morning, and I think it's disgusting," she says, but Stephanopoulos holds his ground. All right, interesting. Rupar is among others. He's just a piece of shit going on about this. This is another one of his. Stephanopoulos, why are you supporting someone who's been found liable for rape? Nancy Mace. He was not found guilty in a criminal court of law. So I guess that's the standard now. Well, that's one standard. Another standard is a civil standard, which is just preponderance of the evidence, which is a super easy standard. And he wasn't found liable under that standard. So yeah, it's one standard. I mean, they're just mashing this Rupar guy up here. Mace, if you want to defend a woman who made a mockery out of rape, then go ahead and do that. Stephanopoulos, well, actually, what you're doing is defending a man who has been found liable for rape. I don't understand how you can do that. I mean, they just post this Rupar guy. Now, why don't you sue him as well? He's obviously a piece of shit. He can do the work. It's just that George is got bigger pockets and easy to come after. Importantly, Rupar's decision to selectively post quotes made by Stephanopoulos from the interview explicitly and falsely stating that plaintiff had been found liable for rape further evidences the widespread impact and false information initiated by Stephanopoulos' defamatory remarks. Mediaite News also published an article shortly after the release of the interview with the headline, "Fireworks! George Stephanopoulos battles Nancy Mace in explosive showdown about her backing Trump, despite jury finding he's liable for rape." Yikes. Relying on the exchange during the interview, Mediaite News incorrectly published a civil jury found plaintiff liable for grapes, and judge ruled, and that Mace took offense to Stephanopoulos asking. Okay, yeah, the Daily Beast did it. Daily Kos. I mean, they're just throwing this out there. By the way, this is fantastic what they're doing here. They're talking about all these other people that then jump on the bandwagon. Hey, George said it. We're gonna say it too. Now, there's two things there. One is they either feel that they have free reign to do so, to make these same ridiculous statements, not ridiculous, but defamatory statements that is, not at all what the truth is. I mean, she's claimed that, but that's not what the jury found of liable for rape. They either just piggyback and feel that they have now a free-flowing reason to do, they can say this themselves, or they are lazy, just like we saw with the New York Post, where Nick is an accused or he's a Holocaust denier. Let's put a link to that to prove that we are. And then you follow the link, and it's like, well, it doesn't, nothing in that link. It's just no one in your news articles where you claim Kanye West is. So you're not doing the work. And maybe that's what it is too. They see someone else doing, like, well, this guy said it. I'm trusting that they did their background check and it's all wrong. Okay, so there's two real significant types of defamation, and this is where we're going to get at, and then we can get out of here, which is defamation per se and defamation per quad, okay? And we're going to walk through the elements. They do it quite nicely here. The two differences. Per se is basically on its face, it's defamatory, and it's typically, you're talking about some vagina stinks, okay? That's just, it doesn't need to have an explanation. It's usually some sexual disease, those kind of things. So let's start out with it. Count one, defamation per se. Plaintiff repeats and re-alleges the contained within the paragraphs 1 supra as, anyway, so an unprivileged statement, because you do have privilege, which they bring up here because he's president, okay? And sometimes in Congress, in the halls of Congress, you're making statements on the floor there, you do have a qualified privilege. You can say what the fuck you want, and it's not, so that's the place to really defame someone if you want to. Say it there, say it loud, say it as much as you want, you're perfectly fine. You have a litigation privilege. We've talked about that before, where you could do that in litigation. You can make statements. Remember Nick Rekieta, you know, and Kayla's, in her reply, or her brief to get her motion to, we still don't know. She didn't put on her brief anywhere what it was a motion for. I'm saying it was to dismiss because that's what the reply said. But she said Pomplin had done some stuff, and it was pretty much defamatory. Or Aaron Amalti, that he was the swatter. Well, that could be defamatory, but it is a litigation privilege. Okay. Unprivileged statements made by defendant and others that are plaintiff are false or defamatory. They have to be published to a third party. At this time the statements were made, which they already put in one here, were made defendants knew or should have known that they were false and defamatory. They actually were. There you go. They've shown that too. They showed that before he made those statements, he knew the actual outcome. He interviewed her. So it was easy for him to go back and look. And then he repeats it like 9 times, just emphasizes over and over. So that's their presumption that he knew or should have known. Defendants published such statements negligently and without the knowledge of the falsity of the statements or the reckless disregard for the truthity of the truth or falsity. Numerous people actually read or heard the false and defamatory statements. Now, ABC is somewhat failing, but they do broadcast to more than one person. And then Aaron Rupar, that's kind of the proof you show there, which is, hey, he was spreading this out, and he's got daily costs. Other news sources were doing it. So, you know, they've covered their grounds there with all the facts. Statements were not privileged. We just talked about that. Statements were published by defendants with actual malice, oppression, and fraud, and aware at the time of the falsity of the publication, and thus made said publications in bad faith, out of hatred, ill will, directed towards plaintiffs, without any regard for the truth. Defendant possesses information or had access to information that showed their statements were false. See, and by the way, when you're walking through these elements, and we read the facts, you can start piecing them together. How does this one fall in line with what they're saying? And they're falling in line. This isn't the claim. Oh, by the way, I printed this out. It was Tim Pool v. Kamala Harris, or Kamala Harris HQ. And I printed it out, and I was cleaning my office out the other day, and I found that I had this that I'd never talked about, and I just threw it out. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know that he has so much of a claim. Maybe we did talk about that one. But anyway, information or had access to information that showed their statements were false. Bam, tick, checkbox. Defendant had made statements in which they had no factual basis. Check. Moreover, the statements tend to so harm the reputation of plaintiff as to lower his professional reputation in the community or deter third persons from associating or dealing with him, and as such constitute defamation per se. Now, there's someone in the chat here. Twitter handle is CEO of Rape. If this is the claim and you're found liable, you're like, okay, that's not going to lower this person's reputation in their community, right? But for Trump, it might. I mean, as a matter of fact, the whole idea is, Nancy Mace, why are you going to vote for this guy? You know, he's not the CEO of Rape. He's the president of Rape. Because, as the proximate result of the maliciously false and defamatory publication of statements to a third party by the defendant's plaintiff has been damaged. because defendants' defamatory statements constitute intentional acts which were made with actual malice toward plaintiff. Plaintiff seeks an award for punitive damages. Demands, okay, so there you go. Against ABC, George Stephanopoulos, court costs, attorney's fees, and then he has a defamation per quad. Very similar to all the stuff you just had there. Statement to a third party, unprivileged. At the time they knew it was false. I think you have to show damages in this one. Defendants published statements negligently or falsely done. Statements were not privileged. Statements were published by defendant with an actual malice. It is an actual malice standard because Trump is a public person. So you have to have the actual malice standard. Moreover, the statements tend to so harm the reputation of the plaintiff as to lower his or her professional, we talked about that. But it's not associated with dealing with it as approximate result of false or defamatory publication of the statements to the third parties. The defendant has been damaged. Where defendant's defamatory statement constitutes intentional acts which were made with actual malice towards plaintiff. Plaintiff seeks an award of punitive damages. And there you go. And we'll get to it here. We'll get to some of your chats as well. But sorry to spoil you. They did. They did come up with a settlement. And I had the actual settlement form here. I don't think that's the one I want to use. You know, we'll look at it. We'll see if we can go through this one. All right. Settlement agreement. ABC, George Stephanopoulos. Whereas, a lot of whereas is in here. Parties resolve the action without further litigation. Contribution. ABC shall cause a transfer in the amount of $15 million to a charitable contribution to be made to the Presidential Foundation and a museum to be established by and or for the plaintiff as President of the United States. So $15 million within 10 calendar days, okay? Defendant's statement. Within 1 calendar day of the effective date of this, defendants shall publicly publish the following statement. ABC News and George Stephanopoulos regret statements regarding President Donald J. Trump made during an interview with George Stephanopoulos with Representative Nancy Mace on ABC's This Week, March 10, 2024. Payment of reasonable attorney's fees shall cause a payment of the amount of $1 million to be made to his counsel, Brittle PLLC, no later. So they got it, $1 million. Nice dismissal of the action. It should be with prejudice. Yep, with prejudice. And then a bunch of releases, no assignment or transfer of the claims, entire agreement, incorporation, counterparts, copies. Yep, all looks legit there from the other. So there you go. Bam, bam, bam. Let's see. Maybe I could get LPR to talk about it. I'm going to go to the chat here. Sorry, this one is on the last side, and it's doubling up because I have 2 chat bots open. So I called that the day I saw the drones. Maddie B, what's your email, LPR? Tell you what, Maddie, I don't know if I can give my email out there, but if you're on Twitter, it's just my handle right there, Tyler Yonke on Twitter, TYLERJANKE. Hit me up. Send me an email. If you do look in I'm not going to publish it out there, but if you do look, contact me on the YouTube stream on my page there. It might get it to you, and then you can do that as well. I hit the like button. Thanks for us, Mommy. As you should. Hit the like button, get your notifications, because I'm going to figure this shit out at one point, and we're just going to, I don't know if I could pre-schedule the show anymore, but not 5:15 on Friday nights is when we do it. Kind of cringe. Okay. Tanya Paso is kind of hot though. Okay. I get you. You guys are still talking about the lawyer burrito. I could go for a burrito. I don't know what my wife is cooking up right now. I think she's getting, it's warm in here. I think she's went out and she got food. Limbaugh used to call him Snuffleupagus. Well, he called him, yes. And I think, I'm trying to remember who called him Stephanopoulos. Nancy Mace is South Carolina too. Yes, she is. I know, LOL, I'm watching. Okay. Good evening. 15 million to Trump's library plus 1 million lawyer fees. I think that was the settlement. Yes, it was. LPR, it's HR 860. Okay, that actually just, thank you. We'll just take that one. HR 8610. Sorry, I don't know how to talk here. House Resolution 100. Okay, we'll tell you what. We'll take a look at it. I will look at this and see. I don't know if it got passed. Counter UAS Authority, Security, Safety, and Reauthorization Act. Look, I've been busy during the week. Okay, I'm gonna give you some personal shit coming up here. So, got divorced, have 2 kids, got remarried in 2012. My wife had 2 kids. Okay, so I have 2, she has 2, and they're all just really close in age. Well, right now the oldest is 24. And then we have a 21, we have a 19, we have an 18, okay? And the 19, oh, she just turned 20? Yeah, she's 20. So 20, 18, 21, and 24, okay? And my wife's 2 kids, their dad just is gone out of the picture, so I've been their dad for, 10 years, 12 years now. And I'm officially adopting them Monday. So we were trying to go, I think I've talked about this before, and just interesting, last night I had, it was late in the evening, client come in, our potential client, which ended up signing up, but to adopt, it's step-parent adoptions with minor kids. And so I do those as well, and and part of the problem you can have with some of these, when you get some of these deadbeat dads or moms, it's mostly dads, is it's hard to find them, and you have to personally serve them. So if you can't find them, well, you've got to get them in court, and we had a lot of trouble with that, okay? So dude's not around. And so we just never finished it off. And then the kids got older. Now they're adults. And so we're just doing it as adults. So I've got court on Monday, actually going into the courthouse I work in all the time before the judges to adopt my 2 kids as adults. They're going to be Yankees. So we're going to have, and my other kids, my son's flying home tomorrow with his girlfriend because they want to all be there for this. Because the kids they literally are just family. I mean, all of them. They hate and love each other like anybody else would. And so very happy and very proud to do this. My son, the youngest, it's been my stepson. It's so odd because he's been in my life since he was 6. Now he's 18. And he's like me. I mean, it's crazy. The politics, he loves math. He's good at it too. He's athletic. So maybe he's not my son. Well, he's not, but he's going to be. But we have so much in common, like the jokes and everything else. So, and then anyway, both of the kids, a wonderful situation. I'm very excited and very happy about this. And, I know there's people out there, and I've had him on the show, Kyle Matovic, was that his name? A nice guy, but people out there talking about being cucked when you have stepkids and stuff. And it's like, okay, I don't know. And I just laugh this off because it doesn't affect me personally. You can have those thoughts. And I think it's good as young people to try to find that person that doesn't have kids, right? And if you're a young girl, try to get yourself married with a good guy early so you don't, grow old and then be concerned about it. So I get all that, but that wasn't my situation. So I have these kids and they're wonderful. And they, to see them change by having a man in their life has been a wonderful aspect. And they call me dad. So, it's exciting, finally making it happen. So cool to do that. So my point is this next week, I got that going on Monday. Then Tuesday, I don't know, maybe I'll work on Tuesday, but then Wednesday, Christmas Eve is Tuesday. Then Wednesday we have Christmas. Then the day after Christmas, we're going to my in-laws down in San Jose, and then the week's blown. But I'll try to do some podcasting here. Maybe we'll try to go through this counter UAS authority security and talk about that. So lots of college bills. This is the most interesting part about. Thank you for bringing that up. Let's get down here to this. Georgia's better off. Okay, we'll talk about that. So lots of college bills. No, the oldest one, and all of them have done this so far. Okay, they've gone to community college first few years, and got a lot of their stuff out of the way. The oldest one did that, and then he transferred up to this really nice private nursing school. Got his degree, now he's working full time, and he took loans out himself. We will help them, but they were all responsible. So during those first few years, they're just working their ass off, saving money, and doing that. another daughter. She's going to go into, I think she's going into nursing as well. She's kind of figured it out, but she's been doing this thing. The two youngest, these two work. I mean, they have a lot of money in their bank. Sometimes I'm looking at them like, I could use this. A lot of money in their bank accounts because they're saving up, and then they're going to put themselves through school. Right. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna front the bill. We definitely help them. Like, I mean, I pay for all the car stuff. We have 5 cars. Do you understand what it is to pay for insurance for 5 cars? Because the oldest is taking care of himself now. 5 cars though, 3 kids and 2 adults, all driving. That's a lot of money, especially in California where the rates and shit are just crazy. So we take a lot of them, and they are very appreciative, and these are kids that are doing a lot of work on their own, and I'm very thankful because the appreciation that they have for money is much different. My daughter, she's down in Southern California, and she's working, she's going to school, paying her way, taking care of herself, but we do what we can to, and when I say we could do a lot more, but it's kind of like trying to help them understand the necessities in life. And I know a lot of people, they're like, hey, it's fun, it's go to college. I don't know. I guess we haven't really allowed our kids to just enjoy, the party lifestyle. But I'm sorry, this is also reality, and and it's done a great thing for them to try to get in a mindset of what they want to do for college, which is, and I was getting at my daughter's down there. Parents of one of her roommates are just paying for everything, and so they don't have this appreciation. Even your degree, they don't know what they're doing. They're just gonna go. I'm sorry, my kids have to figure out what they're going to do because my son started out college, he was going to do engineering which was I had done. So he starts out in engineering and he did not like it at all. I figured that was going to happen, but he needed to kind of go. Immediately switched, and then he found something he loves, and he's successful, he's got a job and doing great now. But it was very important for him to figure out early. He's like, I can't waste quarters because I'm paying for this. So he did great. He didn't come out of school with a lot of debt, and that's important. So what am I telling you? I'm telling life lessons here. So congrats. I appreciate it, everybody. I'm not trying to, put it on here. It's just things have fallen in line with wonderful kids, wonderful family, and they're successful and doing the right things. I'm looking at there was I don't want to watch it, but I'll throw it up here. This guy. Luigi Mangione. This is a thing by Law and Crime, where let me just play this first part here.
Extradition just happened like 5 minutes ago. I'll explain what he decided to do, but the latest that we haven't really talked about is what's being reported, including from the USA Today, that the mother of the suspected shooter, Luigi Mangione, allegedly told authorities before Mangione was arrested that this shooting might be something that she could see him doing.
Okay. And that right there is disturbing. I hope none of us have that. My cat just jumped up here. Have that in our lives, right? Which is the possibility that one of your children could be a shooter like that. That would be horrifying. That's a nightmare I've had personally when the kids were acting up younger. I'm like, what are we going to? One of these is I'm going to have to defend them in this, and it's going to be a problem thing. And Ag Bio says Luigi had a lot going for him and decided to throw it away. Yeah, absolutely. Now, Kitty, you want to see my cat? This is Luna. Listen to her. She's purring. She's an amazing cat. This cat is we're a dog family, but I grew up with on the farm, dogs, cats. We had horses, cows, chickens, everything. So we have chickens here now. We have 3 dogs, and we had the first one. My wife had Addie. She's a 3-legged dog. I said earlier it was cosmetic reasons, but no, she had cancer, so we had to cut her arm off. She's fine. Her leg. She's 13 or so now. So she had her just before we got together. We've been together 12 years. That dog's great. Then 6 years later, so we got this other dog. She's okay. She's great too. And then we got another puppy a few years ago, and this dog is fantastic. And then we decided, my wife just came home with this cat. She wasn't a cat person at all. She's like, oh, my daughter had been house sitting these people. And so she's like, this cat is amazing. So we brought this cat home, and she is amazing. Now, what we did was we didn't want to have chaos. So we started first with the smallest dog, the last one we had. And we let them kind of, when this cat was a kitten, and this is only, 6 months or so ago, get together, and those two ended up, they play. They play like two pets do that are the same species, which is they roll around, they kind of claw on each other, they don't hurt each other, and it's total love. Then we introduced the other two dogs, and it was harder for the three-legged dog to really get it. But they all live in cohesive society. This thing here goes out the dog door, she hangs out, she chases the chickens back into the thing. So we got a real cohesive family going on here. Once again, I'm a happy person coming up for Christmas. Hope everybody else is too. And I just thought I would throw those personal things out there because you guys come and sit with me every Friday night. So I hope your life's going well. I used to, and I'll finish with this, then we'll head out because I got to go eat. I used to hate Christmas. Now, I like Christmas. My family's fine. But there was a time in my life, I'd say kind of when my long-term girlfriend dumped me in college and then married. And that first one wasn't so good. And it's like, it's just kind of this loneliness, right? Even though I had family and friends around, I was just kind of like, ugh. And then I've met my wife, and it's like, she loves the Christmas. The kids get into it, and I do too. I mean, I've always liked it. I'm a happy person, but it is nice to, feel for all you people that are maybe don't have someone out there, but it can happen. If it can happen to me, it can happen to you. And so I hope everyone finds what they're looking for and has a good Christmas. I will probably do a podcast coming up here just because I love to do this as well. Great show again. Merry Christmas. Thanks, Red. Appreciate everybody being in the chat. If there's stuff coming up with more Nicks or Trumps or anybody else, we'll talk about it. Maddie, I will look at your thing here. I'll check it out tonight. I promise. Ag Bio says, Chemist says, I like the holidays. Just sucks with my postdoc that I can't go back home for them now. Oh, are you working on your postdoc now? Congratulations. Good luck, everybody out there. I appreciate making the comments and saying some of the personal stuff you do. So I hope everybody exceeds their expectations for the week coming up. We're going to go out with not the normal outro, just a little bit different one. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy Hanukkah, if that's what you, or Kwanzaa, or whatever you celebrate. Other than that, we will see you guys next time. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and kiss your loved ones.
King of the Druids! Oh, that's all we needed. A Druish princess.
Things are going to start happening to me now.
I think Tyler is amazing.
And I'm a fan of this show. I've watched several episodes.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. You stink, Tyler.
Never promise crazy a baby.
Oh, I like that. That's a cool idea.
Are either of you homosexuals?
I go both ways. What do you think?
You mean like flaming or?
No, we're not homosexual, but we are willing to learn.
But I do wonder, for others, in other cases, whether libertarianism today is just an excuse for many on the right to act selfishly.
Look at me. And then some fat asses in Washington started having opinions. The Olympic Committee started having opinions. You bitch, I know you! You started writing your opinions.
And it just makes me wonder, you're dead, bitch. Why are you doing this to this poor guy?
I don't care. I'm a libertarian. What I'm getting is...
Did you vote for Joe Jorgensen or Trump?